Welcome to day 5 of our 30 days of yoga. I'm just going to start off on a nice easy seated position, eyes gently closed, palms of the hands just on the knees, breathing deeply, just starting to connect with the breath, feeling the belly go out as we breathe in and retracting the belly button towards the spine as we breathe out. Breathing in, the belly expands, breathing out, the belly button towards the spine. Now let's get some more depth towards that breath. So as we breathe in, we're breathing in through the belly and up towards the diaphragm and into the tops of the lungs. And as we breathe out, breathing out from the tops of the lungs, then the diaphragm and then the belly. So keeping this rhythm going yourself, breathing in through the belly, into the diaphragm, into the tops of your lungs, and breathing out from the tops of your lungs, the diaphragm and then the belly. So keeping this breath going throughout our practice, we're going to breathe in as we bring the hands up overhead, breathing out as we bring the palms down towards our heart center, as we just set our intention for the practice today. Breathing out to seal it, breathing in to bring the palms up over the head, and breathing out, we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee, looking over that right shoulder. Breathing in to create length, breathing out to just see if we can twist a little bit deeper. Breathing deeply into the body. Breathing in, bringing the hands up, and breathing out, let's bring the right hand over to the left knee. We're looking over that left shoulder. Breathing in to create space. Breathing out to move into that space. Twisting into the torso. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, arms up overhead, and breathing out, let's go back over to the other side. So looking over that right shoulder. Breathing in to create space. Breathing out to move into that space. Breathing deeply here. Breathing in to bring arms up overhead. And let's twist again over to the other side, looking over that left shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, rising the arms up overhead, and breathing out, bringing the palms back down to our heart center, again connecting with our intention. This time I'm going to clasp the hands, interlace the fingers, and just place them to the base of the neck. Breathing in, we're going to do some seated cat-cows, making some space, and as we breathe out, bringing the forehead down towards the belly button. Breathing in, opening the elbows up. Breathing out, folding in, curving that spine. Breathing in to look up, breathing out to fold forward. Breathing in to come back into our center, breathing out as we release the hands. Breathing in, we're going to bring the left arm up. We're going to bend into that right arm, and we're going to be breathing into the left side body, breathing in to create space, looking over that shoulder and breathing out. Here we've got a little pitch invader, breathing in and breathing out. We're going to roll over to the other side, breathing in, bringing the other arm up, and breathing out with bending deeply in on the other side. Breathing in and breathing out, looking over at what she's doing. Breathing in and breathing out. Again, walking the hands in front, and let's just take a little bow, stretching forward. Giving the pooch a little cuddle. Breathing in as we come back into our seated position, bringing the arms up overhead. And breathing out, bringing the hands back down to the earth. And we're just going to roll over those shins and coming into our tabletop position. Just getting in a few cat-cows here, breathing in to look forward, dropping the belly, and as we breathe out, going to arch through the spine, bringing the belly button towards the spine, stretching ourselves out here. Maybe you'd like to get some extra movements, maybe coming back into kind of like a child's pose. Maybe we're bending the elbows, maybe we're swaying the hips. Do whatever feels good here. You're just starting to wake your spine up, Get some movement going, doing whatever feels good for you. Breathing in to look up and breathing out to fold ourselves back down. Maybe you'd like to bring the hips towards the ground, maybe get a little bit of a back bend in there. And again, maybe send the hips back to our child's pose. And again, breathing in to send the hips down, looking up. And breathing out as we sit back into our wide-legged child's pose. Breathing in. One more time, dropping those hips, looking up. Breathing out, sitting back into our child's pose. And let's just wait here for a moment, sending the breath back. Now just going to tuck those toes. We're going to send the hips up towards the sky, coming into our three-legged dog. Our downward facing dog. And we're just going to bend into the feet, one at a time, just starting to walk that dog out, getting some length into our hamstrings, maybe nodding the head yes, shaking the head no, releasing any tension. Maybe we're coming up on those tiptoes and just seeing how it feels coming up over our wrist, sending the weight anywhere that feels good. Again, just warming the spine up, ready for our practice. We're going to walk those feet up to the top of the mat and just holding here. The heart is up, the back is flat. Breathing out as we just fold forwards. And just take a little bit of a moment here, just hanging out. Releasing the lower back, the arms are heavy. Maybe we can bend those knees, maybe put the belly onto the knees. We're just going to walk those hands around. Again, just feeling into the lower back, seeing what feels good for you. And then maybe we can take opposite hands over opposite elbows. We're just going to, again, just hang out here, sending and see if we can shift the weight into the balls of our feet. Now coming up into our flat back, we're going to breathe out again and reach forward. Breathing in as we roll ourselves up, vertebrae by vertebrae, into our standing position, palms up over the head. And breathing out as we bring the palms back down in towards our heart center. Coming into our Tadasana, the shoulders are down. We're breathing in to bring the hands up. Breathing out as we swan dive forward. Breathing in, coming in, flat back. Breathing out as we fold forward. We're going to step that right leg back. Looking up, left leg back. As we breathe out, we're coming down onto the knees, the chest and the chin. And we're breathing in as we scoop forward into the back bend of your choice. So I'm just going to do a bit of a low cobra. Tucking the toes and breathing out as we come into our downward facing dog. Again, walking out the dog if you need to, or if you'd like to, or maybe you'd like to find some stillness. Really sending those hip bones up towards the sky. Reconnecting with the breath. Breathing in to look up. Now we're just going to walk the feet back up towards the hands. The back is flat, and breathing out as we roll forward. Breathing in as we roll up, arms up. Breathing out, palms towards the center. And again, left side, breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, looking up, flat back. Breathing out, sending that left foot back. And then the right foot back. Just taking a breath here, and as we breathe out, coming down to the knees, the chest and the chin. Breathing in as we scoop forwards. And then maybe take a Sphinx pose here. Releasing the lower back. So maybe just take a glance over one shoulder and then the other. Just really stretching out anything that might feel good for you here. Breathing out to roll back down, replacing the hands, breathing in and breathing out as we send those hips back into our downward facing dog. Deep breaths. Walking those feet back up towards the hands, flat back. Breathing out as we fold forwards. Breathing in, rolling back up, arms up. Breathing out, palms towards the chest. And again. This time, breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, folding forwards. Breathing in, the heart is up. And breathing out as we step back the right foot, back the left foot. Breathing out this time, coming down towards the knees, and then we're just going to lower down with our chaturanga arms, half plank. Breathing in to scoop forward. Breathing out, tucking those toes, coming back into our downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here as well, deep breaths. Breathing in to look at the top of your mat, hop, skip or jump, the back is flat. Breathing out, folding forward. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, palms to prayer. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, folding forwards. Breathing in, the heart is up. Breathing out, sending that left leg back, then the right leg back. Breathing out as we lower to the knees, and then we're chaturangaing down half plank. Breathing in as we do your favorite back bend. Breathing out, tuck the toes, send the hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Breathing in to look at the top of your mat, hop, skip or jump forward. The heart is up. Breathing out, the heart is down. Breathing in, roll up, arms up. Breathing out, palms to prayer. 2 more rounds, faster pace, take any version you like. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, fold forward. Breathing in, the heart is up. Breathing out as we jump back into plank, lower down, chaturanga. Breathing in, scoop forward, your favorite back bend. Breathing out as we tuck the toes, send the hip bones up. Downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here, breathing deeply, resetting ourselves. Breathing in to look at the top of your mat, hop, skip or jump towards the top. The heart is up. Breathing out, the heart is down. Breathing in, bringing ourselves up, arms up. Breathing out, palms to prayer. And again, breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, the heart is up. Breathing out, jump back, lower down, chaturanga. Breathing in, your favorite back bend. Breathe out, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here, connecting back with that breath. Breathing in as we look towards the top of the mat, hop, skip, jump, or walk yourselves back towards the top. The heart is up. Breathing out this time, we're just going to lower down. We're just going to take opposite hands, opposite elbows, and again, just get some movement into that lower back. So just dropping the head, swaying from side to side, perhaps, whatever feels good for you here, releasing those hamstrings. Breathing in as we roll back up towards standing. Breathing in, arms up overhead. Breathing out, palms to the heart center. Breathing in as we lift that left knee up, and we're going to step back so the right knee is in front. Breathing in, bringing the biceps up by the ears. We're just going to tilt the pelvis and make sure that we're having a nice deep bend into that right leg. From here, just taking some nice deep breaths. And as we breathe out, we're going to pivot on that back foot and come into our warrior two. Looking over that middle finger. Now we're just going to take a nice deep breath in as we reach forward, flip the palm and come into our peaceful warrior. Breathing into the side body here. And again, maybe you'd like to straighten that leg out. Breathing deeply. On our next in-breath, creating some space. And as we breathe out, we're just going to bend into that knee, placing the forearm on. We're going to windmill that left arm up and over, coming into our side angle. Breathing deeply into the side body. Breathing in to just reframe the foot, pivoting on the back. We're going to then heel toe the front foot, coming into our pigeon pose. So if you've got a block handy, or maybe you'd like to use like a jumper or anything that you've got just to kind of give yourself some support over that back hip. We're going to breathe in and we're just going to lift the chest up. Imagine that big pigeon-chested pose here, creating some space. Deep breaths. If it's available to you, you may then want to really see if you can get some real good stretch in that back leg. If you can then maybe bend that knee, you could then maybe grab hold of your foot. If you can grab hold of your foot, maybe you can put it into the crook of your elbow, and maybe even we can take the bind, bringing the arm up over the head and just holding hands and just seeing how this feels. Should feel nice stretch along that thigh. Breathing deeply into this pose. Should feel quite nice. If it doesn't feel good for you again, just avoid it. You can go back into any earlier versions of this pose. Coming back into our pigeon. And now we're just going to breathe out as we bend forward into our sleeping pigeon pose. So here as well, you can be placing your head on the block. You can be using a jumper or a cushion. Anything that feels good for you here. Just making sure that we're connecting with that breath. Reaching forward any amount, or maybe we're making a little pillow for our head with our hands. On our next in-breath, we're just going to walk those hands back towards the body, coming back into our pigeon. We're going to lift up the back knee, tucking those toes, and we're going to send the other foot right up so we can just shake it out, get some blood flow back in, and come back into our downward facing dog. Maybe give the hips a little bit of a shake, get some blood flow back. Making sure that we remove the block so it's ready for us to flow again. Nice deep breaths here. Breathing in as we're just going to walk those feet up towards the hands, flat back. Breathing out, hanging forward again, forward fold. Again, try and shift the weight forward, see if we can get any more stretch here. And on our next in-breath, rolling back up, arms up. Breathing out, palms to prayer. And now here you're going to be breathing in, bringing the right knee up. Stepping that right foot back, your left leg is now going to be in front. Breathing in, bringing the biceps up by the ears, and breathing out to create some more space. Breathing in and breathing out as we pivot on that back foot, coming into our warrior two. Taking nice deep breaths here as well, making sure that we're looking over that middle finger. Breathing in to reach forward, breathing out to come into our peaceful warrior, keeping a nice bend in the knee at first, and then straightening out, seeing if we can get any more movement here, any more stretch. Deep breaths here. Our next in-breath, we're going to bend deeply into that left knee, bringing the left forearm onto the knee. As we breathe out, we're going to bring the right arm up and over, coming into our extended side angle. Looking underneath the armpit, everything should be in a nice straight line. Breathing deeply into this pose. Breathing in, and as we breathe out, we're going to frame that front foot. And then we're going to heel toe that left leg down onto the ground, doing our pigeon on the other side. So we should have our right leg extended nicely behind us, bringing a block again to place underneath that hip if required or if it feels comfortable. Breathing in to create space. And again, you may feel that this is enough for you, but if you'd like to try again, you can bend that knee and you can bring that foot in towards the crook of the elbow. Breathing in and see if we can take that bind maybe by holding and clasping the hands behind the head. Seeing how this feels. I always feel this just feels so yummy for the way that my body works. But it might not feel so good for you, and that's okay. We're all different, and it's okay for some things to work for some people, and sometimes it just doesn't work for others. You'll never see me do a wild thing. Breathing in as we come back into our pigeon pose, and breathing out as we fold forward, sleeping pigeon. Breathing in and breathing out. Gently releasing any tension. Should really be feeling some of this in the hip flexors, but if it's uncomfortable, just easing yourself out of it. Don't go beyond that point of comfort. It's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable, but we shouldn't feel any discomfort, no pinching. Breathing in, we're just going to bring the hands back towards the body, getting some length again. And again, tucking those back toes, breathing in, sending that foot up towards the sky, giving it a little shake, placing back down into our downward facing dog. And again, maybe wiggle the hips, see how that feels. Do anything here that just feels good. Nodding the head yes, shaking the head no. Now from here, I'm just removing my block, and then I'm just going to step one foot through and then the other to come into an easy seated position, and just connecting again with the breath before releasing the legs so they're coming out in front of us into our staff pose. So removing any flesh from the sit bones, trying to keep a nice straight back, breathing in to bring the arms up, and breathing out, we're just going to either take the toes, or we're going to see if we can hold onto the sides of the feet, or maybe hands come up over the feet. Just forward folding here. There may be a little bit of a bend towards the knees, or maybe you've got straight legs. Either way, it's entirely up to you to get the most out of this stretch. You can either have it really active, or maybe really restorative and passive, so we can just let go of any tension. Keeping the breath going, again, seeing if we can breathe in to create some length, and breathing out to see if we can go any further. Breathing in to come back up, arms up. I'm going to place the hands behind the body, fingers pointing towards the bum. And we're going to come up into a tabletop, reverse tabletop, placing the feet in front of us. And as we breathe in, we're just going to lift the hips up. You can put the head back if you want to, or you can continue to look straight ahead. Just seeing how this feels. Breathing out, lowering back down, straightening that right leg in front of you, and bringing the left foot in towards the right thigh. We're going to rotate over that right leg, and as we breathe out, we're going to be reaching for that foot. Breathing in to create space, and again breathing out to move into the space, any amount. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in to look up, releasing the hands, and let's switch sides. So this time extending the left leg, bringing the right foot in towards the body, breathing in to bring the arms up, and breathing out to reach for those toes, or maybe we're at the ankles or the shin. Everything's good, we're still doing the pose. Breathing in to create space, breathing out to move into that space. Breathing in to release as we place the fingertips facing towards the bottom, and this time we're going to come up with our feet pointed and our legs straight, lifting the hips up, head is going back, and we're just going to hold, breathing deeply here, counteracting all of that forward folding that we've done, and breathing out as we lower down, release. Now we're just going to lower down onto the back, bringing the knees in, and just rocking round, giving ourselves a little bit of a hug, releasing the lower back in towards the mat. Now we're just going to lower down the left leg and holding the right leg up towards the sky, straight as we can. I'm just stretching out that hamstring, breathing in maybe if you'd like to bring your forehead towards that right leg. Stretching out, breathing deeply into this pose. As we breathe out, we're going to bend that knee and put the ankle over the knee on the other side. We're going to bring ourselves up into a figure four, clasping the hands behind the thigh and just rocking around here, maybe creating some space, opening those hips up. Now we're going to lower that left foot down to the ground, opening the arms up. We're going to send both knees over towards the left and your gaze over towards the right, giving ourselves a nice twist. Breathing deeply. As we breathe in, we're coming back in towards the center, hugging both knees in. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Let's do the same again on the other side. So this time releasing the right leg and lifting the left leg towards the sky. And again, maybe when we breathe in, maybe we'd like to bring the forehead towards the shin. Stretching out any amount. Deep breaths. Don't forget your breath. And once again, we're going to be bending that knee and then placing the ankle over the right knee and coming up into our figure four. So again, nice hip opener here. And just seeing how this feels. Maybe we'd like to give this a little stretch as well and just give ourselves a little bit of a rock. And then this time we're sending both legs over towards the right. And the gaze is now going to be over that left shoulder, arms stretched out, nice twist. Breathing deeply here. Breathing in as we bring the knees back up into the center, giving ourselves a little bit of a hug, releasing the back into the mat. And then this time placing both legs straight up towards the sky, as straight as we can. Again, maybe you'd like to bring your forehead up towards the shins. Nice restorative pose, stretching out the back legs. Breathing out as we place the feet on towards the floor. We're just going to do some nice gentle bridges. So again, lifting the hips up off the ground, just gently bringing the chest towards the chin. Just nice passive one for myself here. Breathing out as we lower down, bringing the knees into the chest. Again, forehead towards the knees, releasing that lower back, giving it a little bit of a squeeze, and sending both of the feet out into our Shavasana. So the eyes are gently closed, the shoulders are away from the ears, feet are flopped out and the palms are just facing towards the sky. We're just gently letting go of the breath and just coming back into a nice easy breath practice. Just lowering the consciousness and allowing the mind to wander. Here's a little poem by Victoria Erickson. My advice to you is to soften into the discomfort. Accept it. Know that it's gifting you growth, fuel, and grit. Whatever it may be that you're claiming this year as your desire and dream, I wish you the comfort within the discomfort, the stillness within the unease, the softening within the stretch, and mostly I wish you the match that lights and revives the fire to keep you going, because you can keep going. Just bringing the awareness back to the body, wriggling the fingers and the toes, just rocking that head round. And we're just going to take a nice deep in breath as we lengthen up, bringing the hands up overhead, stretching the whole body out. And as we breathe out, bringing the knees back in towards the chest, giving ourselves a great big hug. And on our next exhale, we're going to roll over towards the right and just staying there for just a moment, just absorbing our practice, Thanking ourselves for showing up today and engaging in this really nourishing practice. Thanking yourselves. Breathing in to come into our easy seated position. Breathing in to bring the palms up overhead. Breathing out, bringing the palms towards the third eye. Think kind thoughts. To the lips, say kind things. And to the heart, to have a kind heart. Namaste.